Well, ladies and gentlemen, week 2 is now in the books, and a lot of great games happened this week with a lot of injuries and a lot of changes in the regime here. Our first matchup, Drunken Monkeys and Stepdads. Drunken Monkeys will go to 0-2, dropping to the Stepdads as they outscore them in 116 at 875. Some nice performances by Matty Ice and Michael Turner and Javad Best. Tony Romo now fighting through an injury, so it's curious to see what Drunken Monkeys will do in the future. But unfortunately, like some other teams I know, Drunken Monkeys is going to have to step it up if they're going to want to keep competing in the West. We're going to move over now to Dem Eagles and Boston Brewskis. This was the closest matchup that we have ever had. One extra point was the difference between victory and defeat, where Dem Eagles scored one late point in the game as St. Louis's kicker kicked one extra point in the loss there to the Giants to put it over the edge there for the Boston Brewskis. Boston Brewskis, not the best coaching day, only about 76% there, but had some great performances by Jones-Drew. As usual, Gronkowski had a great game. Phillip Rivers always doing very well. And just an even played performance by Dem Eagles, just creeping up. Great stuff out of LaShawn McCoy and Mark Sanchez, but Peyton Hillis, my man, sitting the bench, which would have really easily thrown him over the top. But hey, why do more? Turd Herders in the north facing off against the Red Ball Express. This was a tight 1-2 for a little while. Turd Herders now go to 2-0 after a nice performance here with Cadillac Williams, the replacement there for Steven Jackson, who's injured. Sean Johnson, Freeman, some just even-handed play there. Most of the points for Red Ball Express coming from Drew Brees, so looks like Red Ball Express is going to have to look at where he's going, even though he had a 100% coaching rating. The bench was not delivering much for him either. So we'll see what those points look like in the future. The Despicable Eagles lived up to the reputation. Even under new leadership and new team name, they still stink. Bringing in this week's low points at 74.2, dropping themselves to the Sweater Puppets there, who had some nice work going on from Matt Schaub and Ray Rice. But the big story on that game is that two players, one on each side, delivered nothing at all. And from people that you wouldn't expect, Plexico Burris picked up nothing in their game against Jacksonville. And on the other side of things, Sweater Puppets had Antonio Gates, Cat's back again, who had nothing on the day. The highest score, once again, reigns supreme in the West there. Mizo's Runners, 119.35 points. Not as many as last week, but still enough to be number one. Easily defeats the Juice Monkey there. Juice Monkey will drop to 0-2 after that, and Mizo's Runners is clearly the number one contender in the league right now. And wondering how he got there, just great performances. Tom Brady every week so far. Over 400 yards, lots of touchdowns, 36.45 points. That's amazing. Matt Forte, Steve Smith, who's having just a sensational year there with Carolina with a new quarterback. Unfortunately for the Juice Monkey, Jamal Charles is now out, and he will be out for the rest of the year. So it looks like Juice Monkey is going to be looking for a running back in the near future, but who isn't? Moving on to our last matchup, we had Steadfast and Swoop Stinkston. And Steadfast there, coming back from a tough loss last week, will go to 1-1 with a 118 to 109 win there. Swoop Stinkston just can't catch a break, scoring over 100 points every game, and someone outscores them. Don't know how that's happening, but some great performances from Kevin Cobb and Adrian Peterson. Kenny Britt, once again, delivering some great numbers. But really, Steadfast's big story was Vincent Jackson, 32.2 points, and Aaron Rodgers, of course, 31.7 points was the majority of those points. Some great coaching on both teams, though. Can't complain on 93%. But Swoop Stinkston will take a loss. And I seem to remember something from last week about Swoop Stinkston's win as we go to the Lord Vader report. Lord Vader? thanks for that, Lord Vader. We'll be sure to keep hanging on there into next week as we have some more division play action. The Red Ball Express and Sweater Puppets looking to see if they can eke their way closer to the top with as undefeated Turd Herders takes on Sweater Puppets. And Despicable Eagles just looks for a win and maybe throwing the bone. In the South Division there, Swoop Stinkston hoping to catch a break there again against Dem Eagles, who is undefeated so far. And a great matchup between Boston Brewskis and Steadfast. Look for a high-scoring game in that one. Mizo's Runners takes on the undefeated Stepdads in the West there. 2 undefeated who will come out clean. And finally, somebody's got to get a win out of the Juice Monkey and Drunken Monkeys. It's a monkey matchup. Thanks a lot for coming in, and we'll see you around. Bye.